To call the second part of the Public Facilities Committee meeting into order.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast live. Before we get started, I've asked Colleen Daly, the PFC Secretary, to take a roll call of the meeting participants. Colleen, if you would please conduct the roll call.
Thank you, I ask that the participants please unmute themselves and confirm your presence when I call your name, beginning with the Commission. Catherine Craven, Chair.
Present.
Larry Mamoli, Commissioner.
Present.
Dion Irish, Commissioner.
Present.
T.T. Lee, Legal Advisor.
Present.
Catherine Pendleton, Articled Clerk.
Present.
Next with D&D, Sheila Dillon, Chief and Director.
Present.
James Smith, Senior Environmental Compliance Manager, Real Estate.
Present.
Julio Pillier, Housing Development Officer with NHD.
Present.
Finally, I will read for the record the remainder of individuals who are in attendance but will not be presenting in today's meeting. Jessica Boatwright, Deputy Director for NHD.
Present.
John Feuerbach, Senior Development Officer with NHD.
Present.
James McDonough, Senior Staff Attorney for D&D. Seamus Highland.
Present.
Thank you. Seamus Highland, Assistant Corporation Counsel.
Present.
This concludes the roll call. Thank you.
Thank you, Colleen. The first order of business before you today, Commissioners, concerns draft meeting minutes from our prior meeting of September 16, 2020 for the Department of Neighborhood Development. Is there a motion to approve these meeting minutes?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. The meeting minutes of September 16 for the Department of Neighborhood Development are hereby approved. Beginning this morning with the Department of Neighborhood Development, we have Sheila Dillon, Chief and Director of D&D. D&D has two votes on the agenda for today. Vote number 1 is being presented by James Smith. He is a Senior Environmental Compliance Manager with the Real Estate Management and Sales Division of D&D. Vote 1 is a request for conveyance to Fresh Start Program LLC with land with building thereon located at 83 Emerson Street, South Boston. The purchase price is suggested at $39,000. James, if you would please present vote number 1.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here to request PFC approval for the conveyance to Fresh Start Program LLC for the parcel identified in your vote package in the South Boston neighborhood. D&D conducted a public process that resulted in this vote request. D&D distributed community notification letters to residents in the vicinity of the property, notifying them of D&D's intent to issue a request for proposals for the sale of the property on October 4th, 2019. The request for proposals was issued on November 12th, 2019, and advertised in the State Central Register, the City Record, and the Boston Herald for 2 consecutive weeks. 2 applicants applied to the RFP, each of whom were determined to meet the eligibility criteria. And based on the D&D review of the eligible applications against the RFP evaluation criteria, D&D recommended the tentative developer designation of James O'Donoghue. And then on March 11th, 2020, PFC approved the tentative developer designation of James O'Donoghue, who subsequently formed Fresh Start Program LLC for the purchase and development of the parcel. The vote package includes a comprehensive memo about this project and this vote request. I've also provided handouts related to this vote request, which are displayed on the screen. As you can see, it's a small parcel of land, 646 square feet, almost completely occupied by a single-family residential dwelling. The second is a photo of the building in its current condition. In summary, if PFC approves this vote request, it will result in the following public benefits. The project will create 1 unit of deed-restricted housing to a buyer earning no more than 150% of area median income, which will be at a price well below the South Boston market rate. The building will be completely rehabilitated, removing an eyesore from the neighborhood. The city will receive $39,000 from the sale of the parcel. Finally, the sale of the parcel can also be expected to yield long-term financial benefits to to the city by removing the future costs and liabilities associated with maintaining the property, in addition to collecting approximately $5,320 per year in future property taxes. Here to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Jamie. Any questions?
No questions. Sounds like a good project.
No questions. I agree. Good project. I make a motion that we approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Vote number 1 is hereby approved. Vote number 2 is being presented by Julio Pillier. He is a Housing Development Officer with the Neighborhood Housing Development Division of D&D. Vote 2 is a request for amendment to the vote of June 12, 2019 to reduce the purchase price from $205,000 to an amended amount of $200 and to extend the tentative designation and intent to sell period from 12 to 18 months to Norfolk Design and Construction LLC. This request concerns 2 parcels of land with building thereon located at unnumbered parcel on Roseberry Road and 25 Roseberry Road in Hyde Park. Julio, if you would please present vote number 2.
Thank you, Titi. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm here requesting PFC approval for a 6-month extension to the tentative developer designation of Norfolk Design and Construction LLC for the parcels identified in the vote package number 2 in the Hyde Park section of Boston. Norfolk's designation is the result of D&D's outreach efforts to support local minority-owned, veteran-owned, and women-owned businesses and create wealth and equity through affordable housing development. D&D conducted an extensive public process that resulted in this vote request. After community meetings and support, D&D issued an RFP on January 28, 2019, which was due on March 5th, 2019. The RFP was advertised in the State Central Registry and the City Record in January and February of 2019. After D&D and community review and support, PFC voted to approve the 12-month tentative developer designation of Norfolk Design and Construction, LLC, on June 12, 2019. Please see the enclosed project background memorandum submitted with the prior commission vote request for the full process, development, and designation background. Since the PFC vote, Norfolk Design and Construction, LLC applied to D&D's 2019 funding round request for proposal, which included a request for D&D subsidy to develop 2 affordable homeownership units. This was in response to strong community input calling for affordable rather than market rate units. As noted, Norfolk applied to D&D for support funding for the affordable units, was awarded funds per D&D policy, was required to reduce acquisition to $100 per parcel or a total of $200 for the 2 parcels. As such, Norfolk Design and Construction reduced its offer price from $205,000 to the $200 as a result of the community requested change to create an all affordable development. Norfolk Design and Construction LLC worked with D&D to revise its budget and improve the designs to increase cost effectiveness. The revised design to a duplex townhouse style development will allow the project to be built as of right, and D&D and Norfolk Design and Construction attended a virtual public meeting to present the revised design and provide a project update to the community in June of 2020. Meeting participants expressed full support for the project and the design changes that we presented as well. The time extension requested today is a result of unforeseen months addressing funding round issues and work that led to improved community-supported design and approved financing. Furthermore, the impact of COVID and a shift to remote work posed challenges to D&D staff concerned with managing existing development projects, many that face various cost impacts. Through the spring and summer of 2020, at a time of unprecedented changes in our work, and while numerous actions are being taken on existing D&D developments and important tasks were advanced in the Roseberry Road development, there was an oversight in proceeding with the time extension. I have included slides for PFC. The first slide is a site map showing the 2 parcels that we're talking about today. The second slide shows the existing conditions. One of the sites is vacant and the other has a foundation that will be removed. And the third slide shows the renderings for the proposed development. This is going to be 2 affordable homeownership units available to first-time home buyers at or below 100% AMI. One unit will be available to buyers at 80%, and the other will be available to buyers at 100% AMI. And again, these designs have been shown to the community, and they fully supported them and are really excited to see the project begin. An extension of the tentative developer designation will allow Norfolk Design and Construction LLC to finalize designs and approvals at Public Works, at the Public Works Department and Inspectional Services Department, and finalize bank funding commitment. D&D expects to return to PFC for conveyance vote request by the end of 2020. I am here to answer any questions you may have, and thank you.
Thank you, Julio. I had one question that I brought up to council yesterday. I just want to make it for the record, which is, given the change in the amount being paid by the developer, I just want to make sure that for the record, we discuss what happens and that this doesn't have to go back to another RFP due to that change. TT, are you the right person to?
So I did confirm with D&D's legal counsel, Jim McDonough. He is present on our call today, and I believe Jim McDonough will be able to provide additional information to your inquiry. Jim, okay. Are you available?
Jim, can you unmute yourself, please?
Good morning, Commissioners. This is Jim McDonough, the counsel for the Department of Neighborhood Development. We reviewed this issue very carefully of the price reduction. The price reduction is mandated because we are putting in funds which the federal government does not allow us to put in funds with one hand and take a purchase price out on the other. So that we're reducing this to $200. We are reducing it because the RFP allows us enough flexibility in this matter so that it does not have to go out again. In addition to my review, I ran this by First Assistant Corporation Counsel Henry Lutine, who also agreed with us that 30B16 is not impacted here, and the Commission is all right to go ahead with this vote.
Okay, thank you very much, Jim. I just wanted to clarify that for the record. Any other comments from any other comments from the Commissioners? Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, of course, the reason you're reducing this price is you're going from market rate units to affordable units. So, and right. In theory, subsidizing some of that through this cost. My other question is more of a general one. I noticed one of the parcels already had a building foundation on it that appears relatively new. When was that start? Was that existing on site when the city took over the parcel, or was someone starting construction without having final approval?
Julio or John, can you answer the question about the existing foundation?
So I actually would, I would have to get back to you on that, but I believe it was there when we took over the parcels, but I can get clarification for that.
Yeah, I absolutely know that when the city took it for back taxes, that there was a foundation on that site.
No, that's fine. It looks like a relatively new foundation.
It does. It's not, though, Commissioner. I'll get back to you. I think it's well over 10 plus years old, but we can get back to the exact date.
That's fine. I was just curious.
And it's also going to have to be removed as well. So as part of the construction, they're gonna take it out.
Yes, so no questions for me, just comments. It's another great project. So kudos to you, with D&D team, and Chief Dillon. I make a motion for us to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Thanks, Julio.
Thank you.
Vote number 2.
Thank you all.
Approved.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you, everyone. Is there a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Meeting is adjourned.